Hey, so just wanted to talk about diminishing returns or diminishing gains. So what I mean is at a certain price point in the componentry that you buy, are you really getting your money's worth? So currently looking at the brand new Shimano 105, brand new Shimano Ultegra, brand new Dura Ace, all different price points. And then of course you got like Shimano Claris, Shimano Sora, the really low end stuff, but which I think they only do in 9-speed. Maybe, I don't know. If you know, post it down below. So like I was thinking upgrading to 5800 105 Shimano 105 componentry and 6800 Ultegra components wouldn't give me that much of a value, because I was already coming from SRAM Rival, which is kind of SRAM's version of 105 but in an older model, 2013 model, which the shifters are lighter, but they definitely require more energy, more force into the lever pull to shift the gearing. But so in every industry, for your dollar comes a certain point of diminishing returns. Like for a car example, a car will get you from point A to point B, economy car, and then luxury cars, race cars, things of that nature. So same thing with bikes. There's entry-level bikes, commuter bikes, bikes you can train on, and then racing bikes, and then pretty much luxury bikes. So can you race on a luxury bike? Definitely. Can you train on a commuter bike? Definitely. The categories overlap, but at what point do you get diminishing returns? That's the good question. So some people would make the buck stop at 105, because after that Ultegra and Dura Ace are just really expensive. So there's little things like the last 10%. So I would say if you're already super fit, if you've already been racing for a long time, then Ultegra and Dura Ace, you might feel a difference. But if you just started bicycling and you jump to Dura Ace, you're kind of already starting with the bar really high. So you might not feel a difference in the next year's Dura Ace or the next year's. So little bit of backstory on myself. I've been bicycling since 2010. My first bike was 2008 Fuji Newest aluminum. Flexy as hell, but I didn't know it back then. When I would sprint on the bike at a certain level, when I became stronger, I would hear the back wheel pop and create these popping sounds, which was the back rear triangle flexing and the spokes flexing. So that's when I asked my local mechanic, hey, what's this sound? What should I do? Is there something wrong with the wheel? And that's when he informed me that bike's not a sprint bike. You can train on it, but you've kind of outgrown the bike. You might want to bump up your componentry. So then I bumped up to a Fuji Roubaix, which had a carbon rear triangle, aluminum front, carbon fork, but it was just too big for me. I got a size 56. I'm a 52. So the bike was just too big. Great bike, but just too big. And that was a 9-speed back then, maybe circa 2012-ish, and then bumped up to tarmac and fixed gear and other things from that point. So 2013 got my first carbon bike, Specialized tarmac, and currently I have 5 bikes, but that's another story. But what I'm trying to say is I have a lot of road feel and a little bit of knowledge of the industry, where it's going. So if you have any questions about what components you might want to purchase for your bike build or anything, let me know down below. Do you have a cap of where you cap off your componentry? Is it 105? Is it Ultegra? Are you a strictly Dura Ace guy? They're all for different purposes, different reasons, but they do have a little bit of overlap. But as far as price point, they do bump up with the higher componentry that you get. The big debate is, at what point do you get diminishing returns? Currently, it's really hard to tell because there's a lot of trickle-down technology from Dura Ace to Ultegra to now currently 105, which they don't have a Di2 version of 105 yet, but I predict the way things are going, they probably will soon in the future. If they do, you can say you heard it here first. What else? Shimano, the Shadow derailleur for Shimano Ultegra currently has a 11-speed cassette that will fit on a 10-speed hub. I think that's really cool that they backwards compatible proofed it. I think that's cool. I might look into that, but I heard it's only for bigger gear ratios, so that's for another video. This video is getting long, so tell me what you think about diminishing returns down below. Where does your buck stop, or do you have no limit? Cheers.